What's up, guys? MC Carlos. MC Carlos, Radio
Esta fiesta aquí en Cabo, a huevos.
Y hasta una foto de plato donde quisiéramos del escenario.
Lucas, he wants to know how.
And my man Carlos, we down here, Cabo, clean it up. This the guy, he get the party started. He the dude, he teaching people, he doing the entertainment thing, big level.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the Mr. No Borders podcast. I am Carlos Mariscal, aka Mr. No Borders. And this time around, we have a special guest. We got Joe Rodriguez, Jose Rodriguez, or how everybody knows him, we know him as Joe. He is the manager at Manta, which is located in Thompson, and Sunken Bar. He's going to talk about the process of managing a restaurant, of managing events. He's going to tell us how he got to where he was, his growth. So everybody that's out there, I don't know, possibly as a waiter or as a supervisor or as somebody that wants to get into the restaurant business or that wants to jump into this, we got a special guest that's really going to be able to give us some insight on how it works and how you can really climb up the ladder if you put in your work, if you put in dedication, if you decide to really learn, really take the time and learn new skills. So this is the episode number 5. We're getting there. This is going to be, if you haven't noticed, this is going to be an English episode. We're going to have English and Spanish episodes throughout the channel. So without further ado, let me introduce to you Joe Rodriguez.
Hello, everyone. Nice meeting you guys, and thank you for having me here.
Awesome, Joe. Awesome. Well, hey, man. I mean, it had to happen. It had to happen. I'm glad that you were able to make it. Crazy, right? How time passes.
It is.
Yeah,
it is.
Crazy where we end up at. I mean, it's a little bit of the backstory of how you were one of the first people that invited me to Cabo. I mean, it's been a long 10 years. It's been 10 years actually this month since I showed up to Cabo. I think you showed up like 6 months before, a year before? How long?
About so, yeah.
Yeah, so
a couple of months.
We were both out there in Ensenada doing the thing,
Living it up, yeah.
So yeah, man, tell us a little bit about you're a manager now. You're managing 2 restaurants at the same time. But before we get to all that Thompson managing high profile things, let's talk about you. How did you get into the service industry? Where did you learn? How did it start?
Well, I think it began as most of the people, how we began in this business. It's by necessity, pretty much, because when you're out there trying to make it, you're trying to make a quick buck. So service will be always out there, available. I got into the business, working nightclubs. I liked it at the beginning because I was young, of course. Now, as I grew older.
You were in Vegas, right?
I was in Vegas and then Ensenada. And back in Vegas, I met some people that told me I fit the profile to be in Cabo. So once I was back in Mexico, I headed down here to try it out, because I was already on service. I came down, I got a job. I worked as a waiter for a couple months. Then I ended up at the Cape Thompson when it just had opened. It had been open for about 6 months, and I began from the bottom. I started as a buzzer, and then here I am now.
Okay, talk to us. Let's keep it back. When you showed up to Cabo, how long did you drive? I mean, you were working at Mango Deck, right?
I did work there for 6 months.
6 months.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, this is why this is I'm excited about this because I currently still work at Mango Deck as an MC, and I mean, I use your story as an example a lot. I mean, I'll be talking to, the young people coming in, or even people that have been in the industry for a while. And I'm like, hey man, so what's next? Not to say that, the job is bad. Of course, I mean, Mango Deck is a great place to learn. It's a great place. You can make a lot of money working there. You can meet a lot of beautiful people. But I think everybody needs to have an objective of their growth, I believe that if you can work with people that want to get somewhere, those people will give you, instead of, having somebody working without motivation for 10 years, if you work with somebody for 5 years that are motivated, those people are going to help you make so much more money than someone who doesn't even know where he's going. So I use your story a lot, like I'm like, yeah, I know Joe, he used to work here. He was a waiter. He took a shot at it, and now he's a manager at Thompson. So tell us a little bit of like how did you beat the fear to try something different?
I use a couple of philosophies that I believe on. I think that's my main core. That's how I began from the bottom. That's how I start. I like a lot Japanese philosophy of mastering a craft. You don't have to know a lot of things. You have to, if you're good enough to know one thing and master it, become the best at it, you're gonna go to the roof. That's one philosophy I like a lot. Always trust yourself, trust in the process. It'll be tough, of course, but just have in mind that you'll be there one day. And most importantly, you have to overcome the fear of not knowing what's out there. This one customer of mine once told me the grass is not always greener on the other side. So
Okay.
if you're good at what you are, you like where you are, and you're making it, why risking it? Of course you gotta trust yourself and try different positions or opportunities that you might be given. The hardest one, it's the fear of being vulnerable. Just so you're here, and this is not knowing, and this is success. The hardest part is going through the middle. Taking the blind off your eyes, and because the only person that can hold you down from your dreams is you. You're the one making it happen. Take the blind off and see what you're capable of, and believe in yourself. Don't have fear. The world's for the takers. If it's out there, go get it. Don't be scared. What's the worst thing that could happen? You're already down.
Yeah.
Aim for the stars.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I was talking to with Liz about, like the difference between like watchers and doers. We're talking more of like the entertainment side of just working in the entertainment. It makes you a doer. It makes you like put yourself out there, and thinking about that, like how you say, it's an interesting thought of like the grass isn't always greener on the other side. But I mean, just because it isn't green doesn't mean you can't turn it green. Doesn't mean you can't grab it and plant something else. I mean, if there's just grass to begin with, it doesn't matter what state it is. That means that the soil is worth it. You can make something work, even if it's not exactly what you think it was. So, I mean, yeah, it's definitely been quite a journey. I mean, we've known each other for what, like 14 years now. We haven't spoken a lot because, everybody's is working, doing their thing. But it's good to be able to sit down and really, look back at how things ended up. So you conquer this fear. Did you read any books? Did you take any courses? Well, anything that really pushed you?
Something that helped me a lot before GPT.
Yeah.
Before GPT, it's been really curious, curious about everything, whatever it is, whatever you can think of. Show up to work one day and think about, how does it do that, or how does this work? Anything. Could be anything. Could be from your pants to the truck to anything. If it's work related, get familiar with it. Search it up, look it up, see what it is, and you don't know when when the time comes that you're gonna need the info that you have in you, you know. So you become sort of like an encyclopedia of
Yeah.
information, you know. Maybe that's just how it worked for me. Always being, like I said, in the need of new information, you know, and knowing where the best outcome is. Of course, you show up to work, it becomes a routine. Then time comes when it's just, like I said, a routine, and you go to work and you rather talk to your coworkers and chill, you know. But if you're with the mindset that get better at what you're doing daily, the outcome will eventually show up, you know.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
Yeah. It's interesting because you mention it. I remember seeing a video on an interview for The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, and who's the Mr. McMahon, right? That was the main dude, the owner. So he said he showed up to him and he was like, "Hey, you know, who's the one that makes the most money? You know, who's the wrestler that makes the most money?" And he told him that it was Stone Cold Johnson, which was the guy with the beer. And he's like, okay, you know, I want to make as much money as he. And so he talks about how he sends them over to like the administration side so he can find out how much everything costs, how much everything works, how it flows. And when he came back to wrestling and he came back to doing it, you know, his mindset was different. He was able to make more things happen because he knows how everything around him worked. So, I mean, it's interesting when you figure out or when you find out that, how you say, if it's in your workplace, everything around it, you know, it has a cost, it has a meaning, it has a purpose. And when you're just like in your, you know, your tunnel vision, where you're just thinking about you and what you do and how you make money or how you suffer or how you when everything is on you, you know, you can't grow out and think about, you know, what everything else. How was that experience for you when you started seeing that, like, damn, running a restaurant is expensive?
I mean, it opened my eyes a lot more, you know. It helped me translate the numbers into the words for the workers and how to manage them. At the end of the day, what I tell my guys is, you guys are an asset as well, you know. You're manageable. How do we manage you? There's an HR department that helps me out with that, but I'm the one that has to make sure that you're running well, you know. But once you figure it out how it works, like I said, it opens your eyes and your vision a whole lot, you know, because you see how everything comes together to make something happen, you know.
Yeah.
And when you're the one making it happen, well, it puts you in a position of, I mean, of course, it puts you in a position of power, but you have to know how to use it. Okay?
Yeah.
Because we're expendable. The position is not, I'm expendable. I can be kicked out, but then they have to hire a new manager.
Yeah.
So that's the key, you know, knowing that you're there to make it happen and you're not the center of it.
Okay.
You know?
Good. So I think we went into the good stuff. I got ahead of myself, but talk about how you did the whole corporate ladder thing. I mean, you said you started as a bus boy, putting up busing. For the people that don't know, is like bringing up the food, right?
Yeah,
like okay,
the
take
food
this to table with that food runner. So give us the process of, you know, the ladder you went up, maybe a little bit of time of how you did it, and a tiny description of what you were doing.
Okay, so I first off, quick, like I said, whatever you do, be the best at. If you're gonna be sweeping floors, be the best floor sweeper ever. If you're gonna be cleaning walls, be the best wall cleaner ever. That's how my mentality works. So I began as a busser, and first off, I've always been hyperactive. I gotta be doing something. So I was always running up and down, even when there was low or not work. I was always looking for something to do, you know. And my boss saw that. And back then, there was a lady. She saw me. She's like, "What are you doing back there?" I said, "I'm running the food back here." She's like, "Well, they're hiding you. You're a good worker. Come work with me." So she takes me to the pool area, and then I started bussing for the pool waiters.
Okay.
You know, that I really liked, because I'm an outdoor person. I love being outside, seeing the beach. I love the ocean. You know, just the fact that I got to see seagulls and whales and sea urchins, that made my day.
Yeah.
You know, whatever else came on top of it, it was a plus. But just seeing nature helped me a lot. And then I became the best at what I was doing. And then time came when one of the waiters hurt his back and they needed a replacement because we were in high season. And she asked me, "You think you can do it?" I said, "Try me out." She gave me the chance, and I never let go of that. You know, I became the top seller at the Cape Thompson Hotel.
Okay.
I became a top TripAdvisor review guy. You know, I was up in all the charts. You know, and one thing I always tell my guys: be your best because you don't know who's looking at you. You know, someone's always eyeing you. Somehow they're watching you, and your work speaks for yourself. Of course, you can buy positions, maybe, I don't know, you know, but not in my case. You know, I'm not gonna go that route. You know, I don't like. You said not to curse, but I don't like ass kissing. You know.
Yeah, boot licking. You can say boot licking.
I don't like
ass kissing. I mean, it happens too.
That's the worst. You know, I never been that person. I rather if I'm in a competition, if you're gonna beat me at work, has to be with work. You know, you have to outwork me in order for me to say, okay, you win. You know? Even though it's not competition, but that's how I began. And then one day it was crazy because I woke up, I opened my eyes, and something snapped in me, and I said, "Oh, what am I doing? You know, maybe let's try something new." So I went to HR and I asked them, "Hey, how do I get to be a supervisor?" One day after 5 years in the spot, and they said, "Well, you got to get practices and this and that, but it's a time investment. You have to do extra hours, non-paid, blah 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 blah." I said,
Keyword, non-paid. So you have to do work that's not paid.
It's training. You're not.
Yeah. But a lot of people they panic when we're doing things that are not paying you. This is not paying me. Yeah, Camacho out there, you know, we're not getting paid, you know, but we're doing it because we know it has a value and it's going somewhere. You
it's
know?
Time investing.
Yeah,
you're investing in yourself. You know? And I did practices for about a year, probably a little less. Then one day they just gave me that position. They said, "Okay, you're now you're the supervisor." I was like, "What?" I couldn't believe it. You know, I was stoked.
How long did it take from like when you talked to HR to where they were like, "Hey, now you're a supervisor"? What was the timeline? Or
about 10 months.
10 months. So
because I practice a lot.
Yeah.
I was working. I was putting in 2 hours, 2 extra hours as a trainee for a supervising position, and I did it how I did it. And now I implemented it on my guys. Okay, so now we work in a very intricate place. But I always tell them, if you're going to try out as a supervisor, you have to begin on the what's it called? On the warehouse, you know?
Yeah.
When we receive all the items, everything that we sell, you have to go in there, you have to learn inventory, you have to learn all those administrative things. In order for you to know what you're running, because how are you gonna supervise what you don't know what you're supervising? You know?
Yeah.
I was with the back of the house people for a while. That's how I began, and then I went through all the venues, and they gave me the position.
But all that was like after your shift or before your pull shift?
In either one.
Either one.
Because sometimes my shift was, sometimes I would go 8 through 4 or 11 through 7. Okay. So if I was to be there at 11, I would go 2 hours before. Or if I was off at 4, I would go 2 hours extra. But then if I had to go train with the night shift people, then I had to stay.
Go to night shift.
I go night shift.
So you were doing 2 hours 6 times a week. That's 12 hours a week extra times 4 a month. That's 48 hours times 10 months. We're talking about you put in 480 hours of technically free labor or working on yourself. So 480 hours. So you would say that if you have the interest of becoming management or a supervisor or anything, but you're not willing to at least put 480 hours of working on yourself and on your skills.
I mean,
You're a little crazy though.
I'm a hard
You're a little
worker,
crazy.
yeah.
Yeah, you're a little crazy. But this is just to put it in perspective, you know?
Yeah.
There's no room for that term that you said, you know, like that whole ass kissing, you know, the whole like just getting along with this manager, just doing this or just doing that, you know, those 480 hours are what, you know, backed you up for them to be able to make that decision. That's cool, man. That's great. I mean, I like what you say about, you know, being the best and moving quicker and moving faster. I mean, I see it as simple as when I'm walking down the street, man. Like just walking, I mean, and it's like just walking down the street. There's some people that are just, I mean, I'll be walking around and it's like a race. I mean, they're just like walking, getting off the sidewalk, going back in, going this way, going that way. Because it's like, I got shit to do, you know? I can't believe like some people, obviously, some people just walk so slow, man. You know, the life is going to pass you by. Or even when I'm at my other job, when I'm like emceeing and I have to like take the prices at Mingo Deck, I grab the bar, I go to the bar, I grab this, I grab the drinks. I mean, because I waitered too and I did all that stuff. So, and I move quick. And I know for a fact that, I mean, what gives me the confidence of knowing that I'm one of the best is because I know they don't move like that. I know they're not like moving, dodging, getting through, running, diving, you know, talking, just doing all that extra.
Being proactive, yeah.
Yeah. So now that you're a supervisor, why didn't you say, okay, you know, that's cool, man. I'm a supervisor. You know, I'm super advising. Why go for manager? What happened?
Here's when, remember how I told you that you're the one holding you down? Mm-hmm. You're the one, we all have a blind in our eyes.
Okay.
You know? And you think you can only get so far because that blind is not letting you see further, you know?
Okay.
When you get to take it off, and do you realize that, guess what? You're a human. You're a person. Just like that one guy that you see way far up, the guy's a human, you know? The guy's is a person. He goes through the same things and emotions that you go through. So if it's there, why can't I be there? You know, if you were there, I can be there too. You know,
yeah,
that's how it all began. I mean, it worked out kind of weird, but it worked out. So it just happened that on that transition, when I had already been a supervisor for a little bit over, I would say like 14 months, my manager, she took some time off and then she came back. Real quick, I really like my manager back then. She was really cool. She taught me everything I know now. I could say, of course, I trained a lot, but just a couple of things that are key on managing, I learned it from her. And then she came back, and then she got sick. She got the dengue fever.
Oh.
Yeah. She had a dengue fever.
That's the mosquito, no?
Yeah, that's the mosquito one, man. And she had to go to the hospital. She had to stay home for about a month. So I kept on doing my thing, and I didn't know it back then, but I was practically running the thing without knowing that I was running it.
Yeah.
Because if there's one thing to managing, you never know what the position is until you're there. They can teach it to you in college or any school that you go to, but you're never going to know how it is until you're standing there. You know, when you're there in front of the people, you have the power to make it happen, and you have to make it happen. And you have to have you have to make a bunch of people happy, your workers, your customers, and your bosses, you know, and your wife when you get home, you know. You're the one that makes it happen, you know. So right then, as my boss came back, she got transferred to another venue because she had more background on restaurants than the pool area, you know. And I remember my boss called me one time, and I'm the type of person that every time I get called into the boss's office, I'm like, I'm getting fired. I don't know.
It's over. You start saying goodbye. Like
I'm always like, what the hell did I do now? Like,
yeah.
do I smell like alcohol when I came in? Even though I've never been the type of person, but everything goes through your mind, you know? Like,
Yeah.
And he calls me to the office, and he said, he told me if I would like to manage the pool, that they considered me a very good worker, and my work was speaking for myself, and I was already doing everything that needed to be done. And man, of course, I felt something. You
Did
know?
he say yes on the spot, or did he try to play hard to get?
No, I said yes. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I said hell yeah.
Yeah.
You know? That's one thing. Never be afraid. Just yeah, man. Like, what's the worst thing that could happen? You know. I said yes, and I started doing it, man. I started doing it. The administrative things, of course, you learn it on the way. There's a couple of keys that you should know. I mean, of course, they usually have to know computer, Excel, Word, bunch of apps and programs that help you. You know, nowadays GPT or DeepSeek, I mean, they make everything for you.
Yeah.
But the hardest part is the human part. You know, how do you? First off, you have to keep your feet on the floor. You know, you can let it go to your head and think, "Oh, I'm the boss," and all that. Like that, no, never. You know, people are gonna hate you. You know, how to win especially in my case, because my coworkers used to be the same level, and then I was their supervisor. Now all of a sudden I'm their manager, and now they have to look at me differently. When we used to drink together, you know.
Yeah.
That's one of the first
Or
things.
you know, all the down and dirties they used to talk about, and you know,
Exacto.
I mean, it can help, because I mean, at least you know what they would complain about. I mean, at least you would know what made them feel stressed out. So try to avoid it. Obviously, there's things that have to be done. There's things that you can't tolerate, you know. But it's definitely, you know, I mean, I can relate to that as a business owner. You know, I'm like, okay, you know, past jobs I've had. Why did I quit that job? Why did I, you know, not get along with that manager? Why did I remember saying, man, I'm quitting, you know, forget this, you know. In those situations, I can, you know, look at them from a you know, the owner, from a different aspect, and figure out how can I avoid that. But obviously there's things that can't be avoided. Like if you got to fire somebody, you got to fire somebody. If you got to, you know, put somebody on leave, or really say, like, you know, it's up to here. Because, you know, there's definitely, you know, people, well, I think we talked about it like a couple of weeks back, of like, people will try to take advantage as much as they can, right?
Yes. You have to be smooth, you know. You have to be smooth with it.
Got to be a smooth operator.
Yes, you have, because I mean, you're working with people. You know, you don't know what personality is gonna come out when you tell somebody you're messing up. You know, keep it up. You know, first off, you have to know your team. That's a key.
Yeah.
That's a key. The first thing I did as a manager was one-on-one conversations with everybody.
Okay.
Everybody. I even have a couple of one-on-ones I keep them in my notes. So whenever, from time to time, I just grab someone to say, hey, come here. If I know it's a bit slow, come here. Hey, how you been? How can I make this better for you? Is there anything out there that's impacting your life that you want to tell me? You know, always care for people, you know, and listen to them, because they're the ones doing the work. You know, the work is happening because of them, not because of me. And I tell them, I'm pretty much a toolbox. I'm a human toolbox here for you to use. You know, you make the work happen. If you need something, either physical or emotional, and I'm here to help you. Use me. You know, use my knowledge in your favor. I'm not here to judge you. I'm not here to. First off, we're grown-ups. I'm not gonna talk smack to you. I'm not gonna hit you. You're a grown-up. You should be smart enough to know what's happening, or if I tell you you're messing up, you know, you should be grown enough to understand those sorts of things. So yeah, you have to know your team. You have to care for them, you know, for the love of the job, you know. That's what pays your bills, you know. You have to embrace what you're doing and try to make the best of it.
Yeah, I mean, just that. I mean, I remember listening to that from Gary Vee. He talks about that. Like if you are a manager or an owner and your company has less than 500 employees, you better sit your ass down with everybody at least 10 minutes and talk about who they
Yes,
are,
sir.
what they are, where they want to go.
Yes, sir.
I mean, I definitely try to keep that in the culture here at No Borders, you know, like sit down and be like, hey, like, what's your dream? Where you want to go? How can we help you get there? You know, and then we also let them know, like, hey, if where you want to go, we can't help you, and that makes you unhappy to be here, just let us know, and you know, we'll say goodbye. We can maybe make a phone call and help you find a job that you actually like, or a place where you can actually get to your goals. You know, because if, like how they say, you know, it's when they say like, hey, you know, like showing a worker or like paying for courses and, you know, making them better and then them leaving is better than having an employee that doesn't know. It's more expensive to have them not knowing how to do it than to showing them how to do it and then leave and then them leaving. So now that you're a manager, okay, you're not bussing tables anymore. You're a manager. You already know how to use Excel. Now let's talk about a little bit of how it goes down. So you're managing Manta, which is in Thompson, and Sunken Bar.
Yes.
Talk to us a little bit about those two places before we get to the
Okay,
next
so
things.
I manage Manta and the Sunken Bar. They both belong to Chef Enrique Olvera's restaurant chains. Chain restaurants. Manta, on one hand, it's a fine dining. It's a fine dining restaurant. It more opens for dinner only. Sunken Bar would be more like the lounge side of Manta. We offer the same service, but we start breakfast, lunch, dinner. Okay. Now, Manta, it's a Mexican contemporary cuisine with Japanese and Peruvian techniques. The food is Mexican. Everything is Mexican. It's not Peruvian. It's not Japanese. Those chefs use techniques used in those food cultures in our restaurant. You know. Well, that's one of the things that I really like about Chef Enrique. That's his philosophy of, and I believed this before I even got into Manta. You know, I always thought to myself, because I remember reading Mexican food. It's top 3 best in the world. You know, and I'm like, if our food is top 3 in the world, why do we always go to this fancy other French, Italian, and blah blah blah, and when it comes down to Mexican food, you're like, you don't take it serious because you're like, oh, it's a taco shop, like it's just street food. Yeah, but we're still some, if not the best food in the world. So why not take it to another level? You know, to the level where you're putting the French and the Italian and the Spanish food. You know, why not going up there? So that's one of the things that we do at Manta. We embrace the Mexican culture. First off, all of our ingredients most of the ingredients, when it comes down to seafood and fresh seafood, it's all Baja. It's all from local, either farmers or fishermen.
Yeah, there's some things that just can't grow out here.
Yeah. I mean, we are here in an island pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the Sunken Bar, like I said, it's more lean towards being a lounge. Daytime, it's a cafe. You know, we use Café Estelar, which is café de autor. Specialty coffee. You know, these guys are really, really amazing with their coffee.
Okay.
You wouldn't think just having a cup of coffee and it's a science into it. You know, so that's one of the main things about being a manager. You don't have to know it all. You have to know the right people that know the things that you need them to know for it to make it happen. You're pretty much an orchestra guy, you know. You're telling you.
What were when you were in school? What were you, an A, a B, or a C student?
I was an A, dude. Come on. I was skipped from 1st to 2nd grade because I was so good at it.
But like high school and stuff, like how'd you do out there? Because there's a theory of like talking about how the the A students end up working for the C students, you know?
Yeah, I mean, high school's different because your hormones.
Yeah, I'm
are
not talking
everywhere.
about elementary. Like, yeah, man, I used to know how to 2 plus 2. I had that shit.
Yeah, no.
No.
High school, I would say average. I mean, not the last year, I was sent to, what do you call? I don't remember what it was called, but it was the school where they send all the,
Continuation school.
something like that, you know? all the thugs and the,
Yeah.
and the low lives and
Yeah.
the drop-offs. They sent me there because I wasn't making it.
Yeah, but I mean, that's what I want to talk. Like, that's where we come in of like, you know, being a C student or being that type of person is like you're not obsessed with 100%, you know, doing that. I mean, you can know a little bit about everything. You know, you can handle it, and then, you know, look for the right people. So I mean, you're out there. You got the Sunken Bar. You got Manta. Now, let's get to the event part. Okay. Now we know a little bit about you. We know how you came up. We know that, you know, you're managing these 2 restaurants. So how does all of this click into organizing an event in Manta? If I want to organize something out there, let's say, do you do weddings? Do you do bar mitzvahs? Like, what do you do?
I mean, we do everything.
Yeah.
You tell me. I mean, I get a lot of calls from like, what's it called? Rehearsal dinners.
Okay.
You know, corporate. You know, we do buyouts too. We close the restaurant for a certain amount of attendees or a certain amount of money. If you have it, if you made the quota, then we can always sell it to you. Manta gets to be privatized if you wanted to.
Yeah.
Because you could close a restaurant for a group. You know. On the other hand, Sunken Bar is semi-private. We can always close a section of the lounge for your group. We can do open bars or caterings.
Just to get an idea, how much, like, what's the number to close down or to shut down Manta for a group? Just so like whoever's watching, you know, can like see like, oh man, I want to go down to Cabo. I want to take my people. I want to take my best benders out to Manta. How much would I have to put down to make it happen?
Okay, so you always have to base your income, especially in a restaurant. You have to make it based on your average check. You know, so as of today, my average check it's about $140 per person.
Okay.
So that's how you start. That's how you base your rate. You know, so it's 140 plus service. You know, let's say 15%. So you end up at 160 per se. You know, so from there on, if you telling me, okay, so hey Joe, I have a group of 45 people. You know, and we want to buy out the restaurant for, let's say, certain given day. So from there on, I started quoting. You know, I go, first off, I have to make it as easy for you as for the kitchen, because I'm just selling, and at the end of the day, the people working is the kitchen and the service. You know.
Yeah.
So I got to make sure they're it's doable for them. You know, I'm not gonna overwork them, and I gotta make sure that you get the best experience out of it. So I have to care about everybody. You know. So once you already, let's say, have a count, then I begin my quoting. You know, I have to tell you, okay, so for over 45 people, we have to do family style menu. Why is family style menu better? First off, you get a taste of everything. Second off, gives you a smoother service. You know, if you have a plated dinner, of course, it's more time on the kitchen. You need more hands for staff. You know, we could make it happen, but you have to make it, like I said, doable for everybody. That's just in order for us to start a quote, you have to agree that we're quoting based on average check and family style menus. And from there on, it all depends on the season. If it's high season, I have to charge a fee.
Yeah.
To close the restaurant, which I'm easy to work with. You know, if we can always bargain and on to the slower seasons. You know, and probably lower the fee.
Slower seasons, slower days. Also, right?
Yep. Like we can lower fees and work with you. You know.
Yeah.
We can make it happen. If you wanna do an open bar, I can quote you a premium one or or base one, you know.
Okay, so doing like quick math, you were talking like 20 people, 25 people, you know, we're thinking like $3,000 to $5,000 depending your needs.
About so, yeah.
About so. Okay. I mean, just so we can like know, because I mean, some people, for example, like when it goes to out to like renting a yacht or taking a private flight, or you know, some people think that it's way out there, like that it's only for like the richest of the rich. And when you figure out that, you know, I mean, renting a yacht, obviously it's expensive. You know, you're talking about a 100-foot yacht's like $8,000, $10,000. But you know, it's if you have like 25, 30 people pitching in, you know, $200-300, you know, you guys are having a good time, you know. And sometimes it's even when it comes to like a private flight, you know, you have like 15 people pitch in a little bit and they're flying and they're moving. So it really is just really knowing the numbers and knowing, like how you said, you know, sometimes that blindfold doesn't let you see the numbers, or doesn't let you really get the mentality of, okay, how can I afford it? You know, you just see it and you're like, oh, it's so far away, and it really isn't.
You have to be true to people. You have to be true to the customer. You know, I think that's key. If you being completely honest to the customer and you tell them, this is it, and I would like you to tell me your budget, and from there on we could work, you know, it's that's key. Because I mean, of course, we're all being customers. You go eat anywhere, you know, you go eat to a burger and you feel when you've been lied to or ripped off, you know, and you're like, oh, these people are sketchy, you know. And that's one thing. You have to be honest, you know, and tell people, this is it. This is how I'm gonna help you. I can help you with this. I can help you with that. And if people are, you know, cool with it, then you start pitching other things. You know, you might wanna you tell them, okay, so base, this is what it's gonna cost you. And if you wanna add, let's say, wine pairing or entertainment or fireworks, whatever you wanna add to it, then this is how much it's gonna cost you. You know, and you start working with people. I start working.
Okay.
I like to be always, but like I said, because I'm just how I am, I like to be on point, you know. If you write me an email, or you need let's say a quote, and you email me, you have your quote within 2 hours, you know.
Yeah.
Because it's happened to me that I've sent emails to people and I get response like 2 weeks later, you know, and they're like, well, man, I'm not interested anymore. I've already got someone else.
Yeah.
You have to be always, I mean, of course, I have to have a life, you know. But when it gets to work, when I'm at work, I'm giving my 100, you know. I'm at it. I'm doing everything that has to be done. I have a little checklist. I always go and knock off all my
to-dos?
my daily dues, and I try to always keep it updated.
Okay. So that's something, I mean I can say I struggle with is that reply time. How important do you think it's, you know, to reply quick? I struggle with that a little bit. If anybody out there is waiting for a reply, man, I'm sorry, but you know, it's just I sometimes lose myself within myself. So I'll put the phone away, or I'll because at the end of the day, to me, everything's like up here. So sometimes I need time to think of like what I want to do, how I want to do it. So like to me, grabbing the phone sometimes it's definitely something I have to work on. I mean, we're not perfect, but how is that for you? Like your reply time, how important do you think that is? Or does it mean that, this person is serious?
I mean, you can see it as maybe he might be busy, or he's not paying attention to what he's doing, or whatever, you know.
How do you push through the mentality of, I'm busy? Like,
oh man, you have to be, first off, you have to know that you can't do everything. You can't do everything. You're human. You're not able to. Okay? You have to be okay with the fact that you're wrong sometimes. Totally normal. Don't stress a whole lot over it, you know. Of course, you have to overcome your failures, you know. That's how you learn. But you have to always be ready for everything, you know. And once you, like I said, let's say you email me and I quote you, and I already seen the quote, I seen a number, that tells you something, you know. So go get it. And I can tell you, like, let's say last month, because I was quick enough, I sealed over 35K,
Okay.
$35,000 over in sales,
Okay.
just because I was on point, you know, and that opened my, I mean, my eyes being open, but that's my mentality. That's where the money is, you know. Concentrating where the money is, because if you make the money, you make the people happy. You make the money for your boss, you make the money for your worker, and you make the money for you. At the end of the day, that's what you're there for, you know. So sometimes you get stuck in bureaucracy, you know. You try to follow the steps as they tell you to follow them, but life is not square or linear, you know. You can bend it, and you can, yeah, that's it.
So it's just you just gotta push through it.
You
No,
just
what
gotta, yeah, push through it. Be patient and be positive, man. And if it happens, cool. If it doesn't, don't stress yourself. Next, you know.
Yeah. And on top of managing all this, do you ever host like real high profile people, celebrity people? Are you allowed to? Oh, well, let's not talk about specifics. Let's just say like what's the protocol? Let's talk about the protocol. So we don't say any names, but what's the protocol when a celebrity or somebody famous pulls up? I know a few places where it's like no pictures, no mentioning that they're there, because I know like a lot of people will huddle towards there.
Yeah, I mean that's one of the things we sell. You know, we sell the what do you call
Privacy.
the privacy. That's what one of the things we sell. I mean, we're fine dining, and we're a Michelin guided restaurant. You know, there's certain things that we have to follow. You know, of course, I've seen people, I can't say their names, but professional athletes, celebrities, government officials, you know, all sorts, and from the higher ups. And you have to stay, first off, you have to stay concentrated on what you're doing and not letting your workers see that you're getting out of hand because you're seeing somebody that you might be, or like, oh, I'm seeing this guy that I always wanted to meet and he's here. And you have to be professional, stay to yourself, and tell the people. They already know, but I think if you're the manager, you're the one that people look up to and follow. You know, if I'm doing it, of course they're gonna do it. If I'm not, if I'm staying put, they're gonna stay put.
Yeah. So like if you just treat it just like any other customer, making sure they get their needs, right?
Yeah, of course. Like some people get nervous. They're like, "Oh my god," because this, like, man, this is a person, you know, just like you and me, and he wants to eat his chicken. Just
Yeah.
just make sure don't over code it, like you say. You don't over serve them. Don't be that person. Just make sure everything's on point. You know, you give him the service that he's paying for, and just be good and cool about it. You know, and don't be telling people to taking pictures.
Yeah, that's I can tell. I mean, at Mango Deck we have a lot of athletes, celebrities that pass by, and when I'm on the mic, I really try to just not mention it, you know, like, or even just participate around them, and not just really making them feel comfortable. Obviously, it starts to come around. I remember one time. I messed up and I was like, doing the party and I was like, oh, let's do a conga line. And it's like, I decided to pass the conga line right next to this famous basketball player from the Lakers. So like I passed right by his table and everybody stopped. Everybody was like, oh my God, it's that guy, and pictures and all that. I went back and I apologized. I was like, hey man, Mr. So-and-so, my bad. I didn't mean to go through here. He's like, no man, it's all good. We're just trying to chill, That's what a lot of them are out of here for, just trying to kick it, just trying to chill. I think that because of that, they don't go out to so many public places as much. I think Cabo has grown a lot, so a lot of them might just like show up to the fine dining and go back to their villa or their hotel. So I like the part that you say that, we're all humans, we're all people, because it helps when you mention the part of like seeing them. When I went out to Ibiza, and Fat Man Scoop, rest in peace. He was, I think, forever will be like the best hype man MC that there was of all time. So me dedicating myself to that, I was like, I have to see this guy. And then when I finally saw him, do the things that he did, I was like, oh, he obviously has his swag to it. He has his things, but I was like, I do that. I do it. He obviously does it with more confidence. He does it with this and that. But it definitely helped me to see what you mentioned earlier. Like we're all people. And it really, all it changes is like the mentality. You just got to wake up one morning.
Yeah. Of course, there's physical abilities that cannot be reproduced,
Yeah.
So I can't run like Usain Bolt, or I can't play like Jordan. But, besides those things.
Yeah.
Anything work related that he can do, I can probably do it too. Might take me longer to learn, but just practice. Do it until you perfect it.
Yeah, heck yeah. So tell us about like what's the hardest part about managing an event? Like what's some things that you bump into here and there that are hurdles when you're
at the beginning? It was timing. Because you have to time it, like me being on fine dining, kitchen is all about time. The kitchen, I have Michelin star chefs working back there. These guys are top notch.
I mean, for the people that don't know, what's a Michelin star? Like, what is that?
Let's say Michelin will be the equivalent to NBA championship for basketball player,
or an Oscar,
or a Grammy. A Grammy. That's what it is. Exactly.
Okay.
Yes, it's an Oscar. So per se, Enrique, our chef from owns Manta, he's a 2 Michelin star chef, and Chef Abby, which is our chef de cuisine, he used to be part of his team, and now he's here with us. Shout out to Abby, cool guy.
Yeah.
That's our chef.
We'll get him in here.
Yeah, we can do that. Yeah,
we'll get him in.
So would you definitely
see what he says about you?
Well, let's say you're no. Like
yeah.
Let's say you're an MC. Let's say all of a sudden you got Snoop right here.
Yeah,
you're gonna be psyched. You're like, oh crap, that's Snoop. That's one of the top MCs ever.
Yeah.
Same thing with Enrique. If you have him there, that's a 2 Michelin star chef. He's got 2 Oscars. He's the guy. So when you organize top-notch dinners, everything has to be perfect on time. Timing is everything, you have to time from first course to wine pairing, or second course, third course, depending on how far the dinner goes. You have to time everything. Make sure everybody, let's say the whole service, has everything they need, cutlery, wine glasses, enough waters, enough everything for it to happen. You have to everything time up. You have to work over it. I mean, it's crazy because for a 3-hour dinner, when it comes down to fine dining, it takes months to prepare. It takes a month to prepare because you have to get the ingredients. The chefs have to get all the ingredients. You have to train the waiting staff. They have to know the menu to the smallest detail. You have to know what's in everything, or what every ingredient is in the whole menu. If the menu has pairing, you have to know every single thing about every grape and that goes in every wine that you're serving. So you bring in all this high up sommelier to teach the people, to make sure everybody knows what they're doing. You have to have a very good running staff, a busser staff. Really important when it comes to fine dining, because it's all, like I said, it's all about timing. that's what you're selling, the experience, the service, you know. Everything adds up, from the ambience to the plate to the service. Everything adds up to it, you know. It's a combination of things.
So when you say timing, does it matter like how? Because I'm a fast eater. I mean, I eat quick, and my wife eats slow. So how, like, do you wait till I'm done and then you bring it in, or you wait till she's halfway done? How do you manage the timing? Like, I mean, from like first course to second course to third course. Like talk to me a little bit more, like in actual times, minutes, seconds, steps that it takes from the kitchen to the table. Like, let's say this table's closer to the kitchen, and then the other table's all the way in the back. Like that.
It's first off, the chefs, like I said, you're in a pro kitchen now.
Yeah.
You're not playing on on the court in your neighborhood. You're now in the NBA. You know.
Okay.
You're a pro guy. So these guys are super good at what they're doing. You know, they know when to prepare the plate before it goes out. It depending on the course. So let's say you got 4 course. You know, you got your entree, your salad, your cold, and your main, and then dessert. You know.
Okay.
So for starters, in the kitchen. There's 2 sides of it. There's cold kitchen, there's hot kitchen, and then there's bakery. Okay, I mean there's 3 sides.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I mean, I went to have dinner at Manta.
So
yeah, so I'm visualizing
you
the
have
part
to-
that I didn't see.
The chefs have to be connected. You know, they have to know, oh, first course just went out, or second course just went out. And another thing, allergies nowadays are really important. So you have to work, let's say, well, I'm dairy free, but the whole setup menu has dairy items. How do you deal with that when you have 60 customers sitting down and everybody ordering different courses? You know, you have to be, they're like soldiers back there, dude.
Yeah.
Everybody's just work. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, that's why there's so many chef shows and
Yeah.
stuff, you know, because
Yeah.
it's intense in the kitchen.
It's intense.
Yeah, I mean, there's yeah, the people, I definitely never want to get mad at the people in the kitchen, man, because they got knives, dude. I mean, I mean, damn, man. I mean, they will cut you up. Like, I mean, yeah, they're definitely very passionate, intense people to be able
There's
to
a lot
make
of
it.
what's it called, discipline when it comes to it, because
Yeah.
everything is happening right there, you know, and it's every other second there's something else popping up, you know, and you gotta keep your composure and just say yes, chef, to everything that you're told to, even though you might think it's not the right thing, or if somebody's screaming at you, you can just blow up at them either. I mean, I'm not saying it's okay to scream at people, but the kitchen is kind of loud.
Sometimes in the yeah. They're passionate.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
everything, you can't let it get to your head and just yes, chef. Even myself, when I walk into the kitchen and the chef says hands, don't care who you are. The chef means hands, and we're selling food. And if the food's ready, if you're there, your hands. So go get it, take it to the table.
It doesn't matter who you
It
are.
doesn't matter who you are. If you go into the kitchen, the chef will give you a plate. If he sees his hands, that means his clock is running. So his plate is, I'm not saying decaying, but it's losing value as the time go by.
Yeah.
You know, you gotta get it the fastest you can to your table. Because let's say for raw food, you know, you having tuna, sashimi. That thing, from the moment they chop it it has to be seconds to your table, you know, because it's tuna loses volume because of the fat in it, you know. So it has to be quick, and that's when you gotta have a kitchen making it happen, and then service staff delivering, and they have to be the fastest, you know. And like I said, if you're eating and you're a fast eater and your partner is a slow eater, then that's the waiter's job to manage the table and to read it and to know how to work it. To whereas, you know, sometimes, I mean, people think that they try to rush you out of the restaurant, but it's just that's just how the courses work. You know, you have to make it the best for both of you, for the slow eater and for the fast eater.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely getting it there on time before it deflates. Before it, I mean, how often is the whole like hey, compliments to the chef and the chef comes out and explains and all that? I mean, that's what you see in movies.
Yeah, that's not really what happens.
Nah, no.
I mean, if there's a famous chef, the chef might come out and holler at the chef, you know.
Yeah. Okay.
But not really. I've seen one chef do it. We just recently had a collab with Maximo from Mexico City. They just won their first Michelin star.
Okay.
And Chef Lalo, which super super cool guy. I met him. He gave us a speech, man, that really got to me. You know, got to my my conscience and my heart, and I really took it in. And this guy's really passionate to what he does. You know, on the main course, he'll come out and he had this jus, this sauce that you put on meat, and he'll go from table to table. He'll pour it over with his pan and a spoon. He'll be serving people, and he'll holler at people. He'll introduce himself. He explained the plate. You know, that was one of the coolest experiences that I've seen a chef do. You know,
Yeah.
yeah, it's really cool.
So you would say that when organizing the event, the kitchen, the timing, that's where like the most crucial parts are, especially when you're talking about fine dining, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, we work a lot of weddings, different places, and there's definitely a place where it's like buffet. It's like it's buffet, but it's definitely it changes. It changes because a lot of the weddings now they're more focused on the party. You know,
Yeah.
they want to party.
Yeah.
So it's like I don't want to waste time. You know, doing the courses and all that. It's like there's the food. Go get it. You got 30 minutes. We're doing speeches, and as soon as that speech is done, we get the party started. So
Yeah.
we're talking about 3 hours, 2 hours and a half of the party itself. Then spending more time on the dinner. So have you organized any weddings, any events? Like talk to us about like what type of events do you usually hold out there?
Well, back in April, I had a rehearsal dinner,
Okay.
and they did have speeches in between the courses. So that's one thing you had even if it sounds a bit odd, 5 minutes of a speech slows the kitchen. So you have to work with the kitchen and with the customer, ahead of time to time it all up so it can make it happen. And I had this rehearsal dinner for 65 people. It took about 3 hours for the whole experience. Yeah, I had this in June. I had this high-profile corporate team. I can't say who they were, but they were high up on AI.
Okay.
Yeah, everybody has them on their phones, dude.
Yeah.
And I had them
Okay.
there. I had them there at Manta. I sold the event. Okay, I sold everything from the quote all the way to the dinner, and I ran it, and I was there. That was the cool part.
Yeah, it sounds interesting. I mean, obviously we can't talk about specifics of like certain people, but it's dope. It's dope that we get to live the experiences. It's really, I mean, it's really interesting, man, to see the growth. And it's only been 10 years. A lot of people they're just so focused in tomorrow and next month and this year. But I mean, just the change from the Joe I met 10 years ago to now. And I mean, there's still a lot more to go, man. There's still a lot more
yeah.
to life. And it's going to be exciting to see where you end up in a couple more, anything that you would like to say? I think that more than anything, what I like about having you here, it's that growth part. It's that part of like not waiting for somebody to give it to you, really showing that it can be done. Now you're managing 2 restaurants. You're talking about Michelin stars. You're talking about fine dining. You're talking about like high profile celebrities and all that. But before all of that, like what's what's the thing that you would tell to someone or to the Joe like back in the day, like
Oh man, I should have jumped earlier. I
yeah.
should have done it before,
Yeah.
But I don't know. Everything comes in its time, But something I would tell people, it's don't be afraid, Like I've been saying the whole time, believe in yourself. Be the best of whatever you do. Be the best at. Try to be always be the best. Be curious. Ask questions. Never stay with the doubt. Never keep the doubt in you. And just work hard. That's the key. There's no other way around it. There's no blueprint. That's the blueprint. Be a hard worker. Be on time. You know, I'm not like I said, my guys. I don't expect you to be here an hour before. Just be on your time and leave on your time. And whatever happens between that, be the best at. Be your best version. And whatever it is that you need to make it happen, that's what I'm here for. I'm here for you.
There we go. I also, yeah, just that part of okay, now that was for the people trying to come up. Now, what advice would you give to managers? Because there's I feel that there's sometimes you just get pushed into it, and a lot of people don't educate themselves, or they don't. They don't see the responsibility that you have and like to have people in your hands. So like what tips would you give to managers to be able to like make a better team or to really be able to, grow and grow your team, than just yourself?
Keep your team educated. Make sure they have all the tools they need. Keep the lowest rate of rotation you can, none if possible. Don't get rid of people. Teach them. Keep them. If you're always training people, you're never going to get to where you want to get because you always have to. There's always new people around. So if you can keep your team and train them, they'll become gold. Just care for them. Care for your team. You're part of it. You're not on top of it. That's one thing. Don't lose your ground. Don't ever think you're best or better than anyone. You have to talk. Everybody's important, from the guy that cleans from the bathrooms to the owner. Everybody makes or puts their own part on it. So just have in mind that everybody is as important as you.
Yeah, and for the final thought, how do you battle the thought of I'm training my replacement? I feel that's also out there a lot, that like, I'm not going to teach him because then, he's coming for my spot. Like how
Nature is really smart. You know that? That in order for a pine to flower or to release the seeds, in order for a pine to release its seeds, and I think it's about 60 to 70 degrees Celsius, or I think 100 degrees Celsius. In order for the seed to come out of the pine in the wilderness, how do you get that temperature in the wilderness? Fire. Fire has to happen. They all have to pass for the new to be born. Don't be that person that wants to keep it forever. Teach the people, because eventually you're gonna grow out of it. So make sure whatever's coming after you, it's as knowledgeable and responsible as you are.
Okay. Yeah, and I mean we'll leave it right there. We'll leave it on that pine analogy. All right. Heck yeah. Awesome, Joe, man. It was great to see you. It's great to talk to you, man. I mean, it's definitely, I keep saying it because, man, I remember when we got here, there was like 6 of us sleeping in like one
2 square.
it was
2 square meters.
It was smaller than this, and it definitely, yeah. Some of the people that were in that room didn't make it, but I'm glad that you did. I don't want to say that I've made it, but we're working towards it. So heck yeah, man, and yeah, salud, man, with coffee, but not specialty though. It's not specialty coffee, but
Hey, that's one thing, dude. Sometimes people think I'm a stuck up or, oh, you work with the fine dining chefs. Dude, if you met my chef Enrique, this guy's out there
Yeah.
drinking a Pacifico and listening
Yeah.
to Bronco. When I showed out to him, it's like,
Yeah.
what's up, man? And it's like, oh shit, you're a 2 Michelin star.
just people.
Just people.
Just people. And okay, everybody. Well, that was episode 5 of the No Borders, Mr. No Borders show. It was a great conversation. I really hope that the people listening really got to learn about, how you can really make it in this if you work hard. As long as you don't lose yourself, as long as that you know what you're aiming for, and also knowledge is not meant to be kept. Share it, grow with people, and eventually, you'll have a great story to tell. So I'm signing out. Remember, if you have any suggestions, any people that you would like us to have here, put it on the comments, give it a like, subscribe, share the video if you're into fine dining, if you're into high-end restaurants, if you are into the whole Michelin thing. Give us a like, and we'll see you on the next episode. Mr. No Borders, signing out. Peace.
Peace out.
Let's go.